let me extend this by saying that a company starts focusing on reduction of labor content. You can either automate it, which technically doesn't go in the category of reducing labor content. So what one can do is, I outsource. Earlier I was doing 10 operations within the company. Now I buy my input material after somebody else has done the first 2 steps of operation. This saves me certain amount of time, and I have not fired any of my laborers. So in that extra time, my labor, which is free now, freely available, that means it has got surplus capacity, will produce more. So with the same labor, I start showing an increased revenue. This falls in labor productivity. But what have I done? I have systematically moved the labor part onto the material cost, because now when the material is being brought in, I have to pay some extra processing charge on it. So the input material has gone up. What have I done? I have moved the cost of labor onto my material. Yes, then I call my material people and I say, you have to reduce the cost of material, because what was my intention? To increase my labor output, and the second was to reduce my material cost. So there are various ways of reduction. Some could be just readjustment, some could be true reduction. Let's look at what happens. The materials department starts looking from vendors who can supply the component at a reduced material price, and they are able to locate one. Now, the vendor or the supplier is going to say, sir, now that I am doing some extra operations on this, you have to give me some extra money for it. So what was the input material cost has actually gone up, but however, because of the pressure that the material person doesn't want to buy it expensive, it is not gone up as much as how much you have shaved off from the labor part, right? And at that price only will the supplier agree to supply. You can say that my labor cost 5 rupees an hour. The supplier may say that my labor costs 3 rupees an hour. But technically the labor content has not gone down, it has remained same. However, there is a reduction of 2 rupees which the material person will book as increase in material cost. So however hard the material person tries, the material cost is going to go up. So what showed as labor efficiency got translated into low material efficiency. It happens everywhere, and this is what is happening. Let us say the material people still become smart. They have been given a budget, they have been given a target. So what they do is they work very hard and try to bring some cost down. Now, one of the most negotiated and very easily negotiated part of the industry practice is the cost volume curve. So you give me high volume and I can give you slightly lower priced item. Based on this understanding in buyer and seller, some cost reduction is achieved. This cost reduction is not true cost reduction, but the cost reduction from the estimated values. The material starts negotiating, but they can only get the price after they negotiate a volume. So now what you say that, listen, you'll have to buy more, but the unit price is going to go down if you buy more. The material says, fine, this is my budgeted price and I shall buy it from you. The moment we buy, what have we done? We have moved the problem from materials to capital. Why capital? Now you're buying more volume. You need more capital because there will be inventory lying. There will be a working capital requirement. So you see, what was being shown as a labor improvement finally got diverted and it landed up somewhere between material and capital. Or if we had automated something, it would have moved from the labor department to capital department. Are you making more money? Yes. On paper, the profits can go up. What is the profit? Selling price minus cost price. If the selling price has remained same, the cost price has gone down somewhere. On paper, this shows that yes, we are making money. But the complexity of managing this organization will lead to a much different result. You have made money but not made enough. If you don't make enough, your future is susceptible. If you have not timed it well, you could be left with huge amount of capital investments. So now, though your profit has gone up, but the amount of capital deployed has also gone up. Maybe by doing this, your capacity to produce has gone up. You can show a relative increase of profit. Last year you made X, this time you made X plus 5%. However, when you look at the amount of money you have invested inside, you may be slightly saddened to say, I have put in more money, put in more effort, but the increase in profit is not in line with the amount of money I have put in. The manufacturing organization faces this task of how to constantly understand that the labor efficiency, the material efficiency and the capital efficiency together combine to give a very simple final output which says that yes, your company is truly making money. The purpose of putting this example through was to help you, a manufacturing organization, to try and simplify your measurements. Instead of looking at various sub measurements, look for one that truly explains everything. If you are looking for productivity based measurements, make sure that you have one which actually tells your true productivity. This simplifies your measurement. This would say that, listen, if two departments don't work together, we are actually not going to impact the measurement. If I improve in one department and the second department goes down, the final measurement will not move. You will never be left with a situation where you are rewarding the wrong person, or you are left, after rewarding everybody, left with nothing to feel happy about. In other sense, what I want to put across is simplify your measurements. And if you have to choose how to simplify the measurements, you could follow a simple line or simple sentence which says, reduce the number of measurements that you take. Keep 4, 5, I think maximum 5. If these 5 measurements can explain the whole functioning of the company, you have achieved a beautiful performance measurement system. Resist the risk of putting still sub-functions and measurements of sub-functions. The challenge would be that what are these measurements? How can you find a simple set of measurements which can explain the whole functioning? The challenge would be that what are these measurements? How can you find a simple set of measurements which can explain the whole functioning? Because the fight that we are facing today is what works for the company level measurement does not work for the operation level measurement. How does a worker know what he's doing is going to impact the company profit? How does the worker know that if he does this, the company will make more profit? Or otherwise, how does he know that he is actually working in the correct way, which is overall reducing the cost of the company? It is impossible. It is this driving principle or this driving issue which forces us to put many measurements along the way. Not to take anything away from management, but so many practices of management and science and optimizing papers, research papers published of how to optimize cost, how to optimize this output, how to maximize profit by reducing cost. All these things have forced manufacturing companies to go down, deep down and look at local optimas. Why local optimas? Because this is what has been explained by the management. If somebody tells you that you can save cost here by doing this, and many other companies have done it, it is a research paper here with me which tells you how many companies have reduced cost. It forces you to put in that measurement in your company and start measuring the results and thinking that if I'm able to get better results, my company performance is going to go up.